You don't ask questions. You learn, and in that process you find your answers. As you go along, the answer may appear 5 years later, which you could have been very well told 5 years before. But you find out, and maybe that is a better way because you have grown with it to the point where you understand the answer. But maybe you don't comprehend or understand the answer that comes to you at University of Washington because you haven't really faced it or experienced it such. The Guru Shishya Parampara is a right method for a very talented student. For someone like Rashid Khan, for instance, because the greatness can be seen, can be imagined, can appear there, and therefore it has to be nurtured the right way. It has to be babied through, and not too much is to be given, but not too less is to be told. You have only one guru, but you have others who you are inspired from as well. Once Thirakwa Khan Sahib came to our house, the great Thirakwa, and he lived with us for almost a month or something, and he would practice every day, even at the age of 80 or something he was then, he would still practice every day. And I would sit and watch him, you know, and at that time he told me a few compositions. He said, you know, this composition is a very nice one, you should play it, you know, something like that. And I learned them. That's the closest I got to sitting and learning from anybody.
Zakir bhai ne जो एक बुजुर्गों को अपने जहन में और दिल में जो समाया है और उनको साउंड को जो साज में पिकअप किया है वो सब किसी ने नहीं किया है. मिसाल के तौर से थिरकवा खान साहब का एक टुकड़ा अगर वो बजा रहे हैं तो आंख बंद करने से बाखुदा ऐसा लगता है कि वाकई ये थिरकवा खान साहब की जवानी का सही बोल यही होगा. हबीबुद्दीन खान साहब का अगर बाएं का काम वो शख्स कर रहा है तो वही जैसे कबूतर बोल रहे हैं गुड़गुड़, एक वही एक आभास पैदा होता है जिन्होंने उन बुजुर्गों को सुना है जैसे मैंने सुना है. तो मैं ऐसे वक्त में मेरे अंदर से बड़ी आत्मा खुश होती है कि बुजुर्गों के लिए प्यार होना, उनके लिए एक रिस्पेक्ट होना हमारे म्यूजिक की पहली तमीज़ है.
इसको भी हबीबुद्दीन खान साहब बजाया करते थे. बोलते हैं कि जब वो ये कायदा बजाते थे, ये रीला बजाते ऐसा लगता था जैसे कबूतर बोल रहे हैं. तो वो बजाते थे तो ऐसा होता था, हम नहीं.
tabla playing has changed. We, the players of today, have been able to hear the great performers of all these traditions, and we have been impressed, we have been inspired, and we have been influenced. So now what we have, or what I do, or what I presume Sapan and Anindo and Sabir and Shafat and everybody does, is a combination, a concoction, or you know, a confluence of all these styles.
खासकर एक तबला प्लेयर होने के नाते जो मैं ये बारीकी उनमें देखता हूँ कि उस घराने की जो खासियत है, मान लीजिए अगर दिल्ली है तो उसमें किनार और सियाई के जो बोल हैं 2 उंगली के, तो वो उस चीज़ को कायम रखते हुए उस घराने को बजाते हैं, या फरुखाबाद बजाते हैं, परालंग भी बजाते हैं। तो सभी घरानों को उन्होंने अपनाया है और बहुत खूबसूरती से उसे पेश करा।
Delhi, you mainly use these 2 fingers on the right hand drum. So you, whatever you play would mainly be based or built upon how these 2 fingers develop. You see, so it's just these 2 fingers. Now, if I was to do the same thing in Banaras, I would use the same thing, but I would use the whole hand. So you see, so it changes the tone. It gives it more volume. It gives it a much more bolder sound, a stronger tone, but it's not necessarily subtle. So it changed from Delhi, even though the syllables are the same, it became Banaras. So similarly, if I was playing Lucknow, I would use the three-finger Therekita. Right, now that's the 3-finger one. If I was playing Punjab, I might use the full hand. So it would be so if you were to play faster, you'll see the different. So that's Farrukhabad or Lucknow, and Punjab would be, instead of, it would be you see, so the hand makes a difference. I mean, this is just a very crude, straightforward difference, but there's so many subtle differences, you know, the use of the bass drum and how the combination of certain qaida phrases are, how to create new variations on the qaida, how it's done in Punjab, how it's done in Delhi, how it's done in Lucknow. It's, I mean, every little thing, every part of a tabla recital or a tabla technique or tabla composition can be differentiated.